Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. In the last episode, we laid out a meat processing chain with a livestock farm, livestock hall, a slaughterhouse, and a meat storage facility, and a cargo train station where we will eventually load said meat. And we also laid out the trolley bus stop locations. That's going to be nice. I think we also planned in this railroad. It will be for passengers. Right. This will bring passengers into this town over here. And Luhajik? Something like that. And yeah. That's a lot of construction that needs to get done. I have advanced time a little bit. And some of it's done. A lot of roads are getting built in. Our first food factory is actually done being built. So, yeah. Good deal. But still a lot of work ahead for that. And speaking of work, let's see. Over here, this apartment building is now finished. I have ordered everyone there to work in that coal mine. So that coal mine should be producing pretty well. We actually are pushing more ore into here than this processing plant can actually handle, and that's good news. In fact, we are now actually storing coal and not buying it, as long as there's no train there currently requesting coal. So we might need to see what we're going to do about that. Have some ideas, but we shall see. It's going to involve reworking these conveyors and building another processing plant and setting up a large aggregate storage and reworking some more conveyor belts, but it shouldn't be that big of an issue. We're loading up. I don't have quite enough coal there. Now we are buying it in, which is not great. So yeah, I think that's one thing we're going to need to do, and probably sooner rather than later. Over here, construction is proceeding. You don't have any workers. You do. You have lots of workers. You have a decent amount of workers. But right now, the limitation is we're just full on steel. We're just not using steel. And that's actually good news. Actually, we don't have any coal right now. But the availability, being full on steel is what is generally causing the issues right now. But our railroad to our first connection to the filthy capitalists is now complete, and so we might be able to at some point try to take advantage of their economy, to see if they can't help supply some things that we need. We'll see. I would need another train. We'll most likely be exporting steel, at least at the moment. We'll be exporting steel. I wouldn't want to export too much. Dedicating a whole train to it is a little but this will be fine. It'd just be expensive. And as you can see, I've gone ahead and repaid the loan. So don't quite have the cash to do that just yet. But we'll get there. That bridge is done. So that's good. Fields are working. What we need right now is just workers. And there's a part of me that is considering buying in some of this road. And bringing in workers via train to help feed into some of these systems here. Because we would need to buy this road, that stop, this road, that stop, and this road to that stop. Speaking of that stop, it was suggested that I could have used a switch over here for the power line instead of running two separate power lines. And you know what? That was a good idea. So that's what I went ahead and did. And there is like a piece of power line here that I need. So I reworked that a little bit to be more efficient, because the trolley buses don't actually use that much power. Oh, building's on fire. So having their own dedicated line isn't really all that necessary. Let's take care of it. And we also, one of the things we need to do is start thinking about the next big project, which I think is going to be another oil field somewhere. But that's a bit out of the way. So that's going nuts, because we're trying to fill a train. Right now the issue is that you don't have workers. Well, now you do. And even at, good production levels, we're not processing enough. All right, so don't have a ton of cash to play with. Well, right now we don't need to worry about the initial cash. What I need to worry about is where would the next whole processing plant go? I think it would go right there. If we had flat terrain to put it on. Okay, well, what if we level some of that terrain off, or just smooth it down? Coal processing plants. You're still complaining about flat terrain? Oh. Terrain smooth. Alright, let's see if that helps. It's still being cranky. Alright, well, let's get my terrain grid here and let's do this. We're using our own equipment for this, so Let's see, is that going to be enough? Let's try again. Now, it's not giving me the automatic connection. That's not necessarily a problem. Let's cue it in. Get rid of that. Yeah. We're gonna need one of our modded conveyor systems. Can I mirror that? Yeah. There we go. Okay, that's rather strange. You know what? Let me just rework the road a little bit. That'll be fine. There we go. Okay. Now for you. I'm gonna leave that dirt road for the moment. Well, and the other thing we're going to do is, I didn't want to buy that, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, how much is a large aggregate storage going to cost to buy? $46,000 base, unless we have to do some terrain editing. We would need to like really put it in somewhere like here. I would think. $490,000. That might be enough. All right, let's do it. Let's tear out these conveyors. And let's put this in. This is probably the way I should have done it to start with, but no, that's not the way I want to do that. I'm going to bring it in as close to that as I can. Do it. Now, this has to get bought because... Yeah, you come in there. Dude, infrastructure below. Well, you know what I'm going to do? If it's just a footpath that's causing the problem, then we're going to replace the footpath. Building in the way. What building is in the way? That doesn't make any sense. Well, then we'll do this. Okay. That'll get the job done. Alright, do you have power? There is no output connection. What are you talking about? There's no output connection. There we go. Ah, right. That wasn't actually built yet. Alright, now we can go build from resources. Ah, that hill is in the way. See, I don't think we need to do all of that. We just need to lower enough of it to get it out of the way. Done. All right. Good. Now that keeps this guy running. And lets us build up our coal ore as we produce it. And eventually, we will be able alas. Give me these two as well. Give me those two as well. Thank you. That's the one that's really going to need resources, so. And what I think I might go ahead and do, just because we're here and I'm thinking about it, is pave this road. At least to there. Alright, the other thing I did, I put another building over here, which seems to be done, being built. Now I'd say you guys work there. These buildings can provide enough workers to keep the rest of the services operating. Alright, that's still under construction. That's still under construction. What do we have here? Anything we really need to worry about? Last chance to buy, who cares? New vehicle type, a new roller. Well, it was on fire, but it got put out because obviously it didn't collapse, so that's good. I was going to say, one of the other things I wanted to do here is indoor pool would be nice. And I could fit it. You know what? Let's do it. I was going to put in the larger one, but this one should be fine. One that I have a mod for. Okay. There we go. Traffic jam. Oh, that's because you're stuck, because you're waiting for this guy to clear out. That's just the way things are, which is fine. Though, I technically could isolate this guy off of there, which would help. They did add a crossover here and signaled it up so that the constructors could actually get to both sides of this. Because they weren't able to before. All right. We're definitely making it faster than we're processing it now, so that is good news. Hopefully we can actually feed workers in there. That'd be the only other concern. Alright. So I think we're just at a point now where we're waiting for stuff to get built. Down here. Waiting for that stuff to get built. As far as over here, I think everything is built. Except for this. This is the one thing that's still getting built. So, we could start thinking about the next major development. And if we would say oil, the best source of oil is way up here. Which we don't have anywhere near the ability. What is Little Island? Okay. To get up there right now. There is an oil field over here, but it's not that good. There is also this option over here. The problem is that these construction offices are already taxed to the max with this construction project. I'd have to probably set up other construction offices. Not impossible. Work on the next project. Not impossible, just expensive. Now, before I even think about that, let's take a look at the other thing we would need to look at is what are we importing? Coal is still getting imported occasionally. Hopefully that'll resolve itself. Food we're working on. Meat we're working on. Electronics, clothes, alcohol we're working on. And we also have electronic components and mechanical components. Is there any more research we need to do here? No. Okay. I mean, I do need to get... Oh, headquarters of the Communist Party. I do need to get a medical university around here somewhere. University halls of residence. Ah. Advanced industry. Okay. Nuclear. There's another option. No, there is also bauxite. This stuff sells pretty well. But we have very, very little of it. Uranium ore. Oh. Some up there. Nuclear fuel. That's pricey stuff. So we would need what? Uranium mines to make uranium ore. We would need uranium processing plants to turn the uranium ore into uranium oxide. We would need a uranium conversion plant to take the uranium oxide and chemicals, which we're making very little of, to turn it into UF6. Nuclear fuel fabrication takes UF6 and chemicals and turns it into nuclear fuel. We would need chemicals. We're making a small amounts of it. It's helping our exports. But we would need to make more. And to make more chemicals, we would need more oil, I think. All right. Electronic components factory. We would need what? Plastics and chemicals. And steel. We have the steel. Plastics and chemicals. Okay. And we would need electronic components and plastics to make electronics. Okay. Mechanical components factory. consumes steel. Make mechanical components. Vehicle production line. Plastics, mechanical components, electronics, electronic components, and fabric to make vehicles. Railway production line, so we could actually build our own trains. Okay, but we would need fabric, we would need plastics. Build our own planes, build our own ships. Okay. Clothes, fabric. Chemicals and crops to make fabric. I don't see plastics. There's one thing I don't see in here is plastics. But I think if we're going to be making plastics, we're going to need oil. So, uranium ore and oil are over that way. So, that is almost certainly where we're going to be heading for the next project. And that is going to be a project to get a road built out that way. Now, and the railroad, because we're going to need trains over there to take our construction materials to build the thing. I mean, unless I want to take out millions in loans to buy it all, which I don't. Traffic jam. Let's just make sure that's not a problem anymore. No, it's not. Okay. Well, we're kind of at time here for this episode, so I will consider those options. Because we have uranium over here. We have infrastructure already available over here. But the uranium, aside from just being able to sell the uranium oxide, doesn't really help. We need the oil, and we need chemicals. So, yeah, we're gonna have to start planning this. Alright, but we'll start working on that for next episode, I think. So for now, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.